Can you hear me, mate?
Can I? Can you hear me?
I can't hear you. What's going on?
Double check. I think it's definitely plugged in. Can you hear us?
I can't hear a word. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yeah.
Well, this is this is frustrating. What the fuck? Can you still hear me, mate? Yeah. Everyone can hear you, but I can't hear. What is going on here? Guys, we can only apologise. I don't know what's going on. Still can't hear him. This is a fantastic start to the watch along. Andrew, I think everyone can hear you. I just can't hear you. I don't know if you just want to carry on talking while I try and sort this out my end. What? Fuck me, even Mux is shit. Yeah, I don't know if it's. I think it says you're muted, mate, but I don't know what's going on.
Am I on now?
Oh, I can hear you now.
Hey!
Jeez. What a nightmare this is.
Get us back in a Green King pub, honestly.
Mate, tell me about it, honestly.
We had Sam last week, just his phone kept flying, going falling off.
I mean, surely we can sort these dimensions out a little bit better as well. This looks horrific, doesn't it? Oh, yeah. Well, hopefully everyone can hear us now. We're back, and obviously we're not in a Green King pub. Me being away on holiday scooped up plans a little bit, so I apologise. And if you're still with us, thank you very much, because this has been a horrific start. Andrew, how are you, mate?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. I am confident for this one, I have
Yeah,
to say. It's nice. We've got no Ryan Fraser on, who likes to get sent off down here, so
always
fingers
helpful.
crossed, good result, yeah.
I'll zoom out a little bit. What have you been up to anyway?
Just a quiet one this weekend. Obviously just got back from holiday last weekend, so funds are dry until payday, unfortunately. So
I can imagine, mate. How was the holiday?
beautiful. Weather was unreal, and then landed straight back into the grey. So it was a harsh kick to reality, unfortunately.
Where did you go?
About an hour away from Malaga.
Oh, very nice.
So very Oh,
Yeah, if you just want to talk us through the game a little bit, mate, just very quickly while I get this loaded up.
yeah. Obviously a bit rotated again. Front three of Harvey Barnes, Wilson, Miggy. Oh, half a chance there. Longstaff, Bruno, and Elliot Anderson in the midfield in your standard back line. After there was the rumours anew in the nose on the scene, trying to say that the Botman hadn't travelled, but here he is in the starting lineup. No worries. So I think we've got our sources of who you can trust from Newcastle News, and if it's not like an accredited journalist, I would take it with a pinch of salt, or just don't take it with anything at all.
Absolutely agree. Um, what minute are you on, mate? Because I'm just running it through Now TV, so I might be slightly behind.
On 5 minutes 20 seconds.
Oh, I'm ahead of you by 9 seconds. How's that
Oh,
happened?
this is what we had last week. Mine kept like refreshing though, and then ended up in front of Sam, and then behind it.
Yeah, I think we're about 10 seconds behind real time. It's not the end of the world, to be fair. By the time it goes out on stream, anyway. Oh God, what a nightmare. Um, yeah, I haven't spoken to you, to be fair, mate. What did you make of the AC Milan game?
I thought it was a good result. Played about as good as we probably could have with it being the first game back in 20 years, and I mean you kind of felt the result really. You'd have taken a 0-0 before kick off, so it's just a result we've got to grow on, and then now we've just got to obviously focus on this Premier League Premier League run we've got coming up.
Is there anything that you saw in that game that you thought, well, you know what, when they come to St James's Park, it's going to be a different story?
Yeah, I think we obviously sat back a lot more than we usually would. We didn't press as much as I maybe thought we would. I don't know whether that was just me being being naive and wanting to see us playing at our best, but I think Tonali, I would like to see him get 90 minutes at some point, and I think he was bossing that game. Sean Longstaff, I don't think's had enough plaudits from it. His energy kept us in it a lot of the time. And I thought Murphy was great as well, especially with that clearance off the line. So I think when they come here, we'll give them a right good game. Oof.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, and then obviously PSG's the next one. Their form has been a bit dodgy. Obviously, they beat Dortmund in game week 1, but then just a few days prior, they'd lost to Nice in the league. So hopefully, they can turn up at St James's being the usual dodgy cells that they are at the minute.
Yeah.
What's your whole take on Mbappe? Because I know everyone's getting excited that he's coming to St James's. I just think I think Trippier might keep him quiet. You know.
It sounds really mad, but like I'm not overly worried. Originally, for me, it was a bit like I think being worried about Dan Burn and Trippier, but Dan Burn made a great account of himself in the week. Like he was
Yep.
fantastic, to be fair. Um, Initially, I thought Kieran Trippier was the better out of the two, but after watching it back, I'd probably say Dan Burn had the better game. He was really, really good. So I'm not overly worried. Kieran Trippier's really, really good at that level as well, and I think that shone through against AC Milan. So I expect him to be able to nullify it to a certain extent. Obviously, He's never going to beat him for pace, but he should know how to play against him and try to compensate for that.
Yeah, I mean that challenge in the dying minutes against Milan was absolutely ridiculous, and then to keep the ball in as well. But it's it's going to be an interesting one. I mean, I was kind of worried. Obviously, Trippier and Dan Burn both aren't the quickest, and then you had Rafael Leao and Theo Hernandez running at them at the San Siro and kept them quiet. So I'm looking forward to it. I'd have been a bit worried if it was, if we didn't have the caliber of a player like Trippier coming up against them. But we've arguably got one of, if not the best right back in the world playing for us at the minute.
Yeah, fair enough. Just going to go through some of the comments. Wayne Rogerson says, normally watch Toon Review, but I'll give you guys a watch today. I apologise, mate, because this is not how we do things. This is not how we do things. We are usually live in a pub, well, in the Junction. Far better than this. And yeah, I've made an absolute pig's ear with this today, so I apologise. Please don't judge us. It will get better.
I'm just trying to think which one will be the next game we're in. We're in next. Obviously, Burnley at home, City at home, PSG at home.
It's a while.
Mm.
It's going to be a while, isn't it? I think not till I'll have to double check now because it's right towards the back end of October, I think.
Oh
Um,
no, West Ham away on the 8th.
oh, okay, fair enough. Fair enough. We will be at the junction for that one. Obviously, if you want to come along and join us and get involved, we'd be really, really grateful of that because it is good atmosphere there, and I think that reflects in the watch-alongs as well. And we would love to have you there. I probably won't be updating these match statistics as often as I usually am because obviously I'm joining Andrew in front of the camera as well. So we'll keep that up to date as much as possible. As Elliot Anderson looks a bit shook up. I don't know if you've just seen that. Oh no, Harvey Barnes. Sorry,
Harvey
Harvey
Barnes,
Barnes is
yeah.
actually going off. So he's done within the first
Is
10
this
minutes.
just a side? Is it? Yeah, sub. And then my bet came crashing down. Same thing
How
every week.
frustrating. What do you think the reason was for Gordon not starting? Do you think it's one eye on that
Just
Manchester City game, a little bit of a rest, or?
yeah, a little bit of a rest, I think, because he played against Brentford and then into the Milan game, and then obviously Harvey Barnes hasn't had many minutes, so it was a good opportunity for him to maybe even get a goal against these. But it's a shame, and
It
but
is.
I do like watching Gordon. I think Gordon gives us that little bit that others haven't been able to offer so far this season in turning half an attack into a full-on attack. So
I think
hopefully,
that little bit of mercurialism that we lost from Alan Saint Maximan, I think Gordon possesses a little bit of that, doesn't he? And do you know,
yeah,
it's surprising. A few lads, a few of my pals that obviously aren't Newcastle fans, were messaging me and talking about Anthony Gordon, and you know, ironically, they see him as a more sensible Maximan. I
yeah.
don't know
Well,
how
he's
you
more
feel about
direct.
him.
He's more
Yeah.
direct. We were saying this. Sam was saying he doesn't know whether it was the love for the player or what that he would have wanted to see Maximin against Milan
Oh yeah.
the other night. But I don't know what more he would have offered that the others did. I think we needed the players that were had on just purely because of the levels of graft, like your likes of Gordon, Murphy. Then obviously Miggy came on. Oh, hang on, here we go. Off chance. But no, I like Gordon. I like how much he cuts in with it and comes across and almost plays. He almost plays as a free roam 10 at times. I think.
Yeah, it's I'm very much the same as you. It's something I enjoy watching. I uh, I don't understand some of the decisions as of late in terms of taking him off because I always think he's been the bright spark, and you know it's difficult to question Eddie Howe after everything he's done, but it is interesting as to what his reasoning is because we always seem to go very flat once he leaves the pitch.
Yeah, especially him with Tonali as well.
Tonali as well, yeah. It's an odd one, but I'm
I
sure
know.
it'll make
They
sense.
just. I know we're obviously not playing our strongest 11. There just seems something missing going forward at the minute, like especially in the middle. I don't know whether we should like revert to a kind of 4-2-3-1 because it feels like at the minute we're massively missing a number 10, like someone playing behind, especially Callum Wilson.
Yeah.
It feels like he needs to have that someone behind him. We should have done a lot better with that there. Let off for Newcastle.
Um, yeah, he's got to finish that from there, really, hasn't he? Or at least test the
Great
keeper.
ball in.
We'll start, guys. If I go a bit quiet, I'm just in the background trying to work some things out and bring the comments on the screen and sort this timer out for you very, very quickly as well. Where am I at? I'll put it where I am. It might be a little bit behind you guys. Let's start that. We'll start that from 15 minutes.
Tell you, what, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm overly liking the yellow short socks combo.
No, not a fan.
Nah, it's almost like too bright. I don't know. It just doesn't. Looking at it, like I know, like the actual shirt's nice, but it just doesn't look like a Newcastle kit to me. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah, no, of course. Right, hopefully that timer is on and ticker is on screen now. Callum Wilson just chasing a pretty dead ball there.
Uh,
What do you think? Do you think this is going to be not an easy? But do you think we've got to go for 3 points, haven't we? Here, like
oh,
Sheffield United
absolutely.
have
Like,
been pretty good in terms of the way that they've played. Results obviously haven't gone their way. They've had a relatively difficult run of fixtures as well, with Man City and Tottenham in there. Played well against Man City, to be fair, only losing by a couple of goals, and then obviously the late winner from Crystal Palace in the first game. They've had chances to win games, they've just not taken them. But we've got to try and look to put them away, haven't we?
yeah, I think we've got to do it convincingly as well. It's
Callum
it's been a
Wilson.
while. Oh,
Sorry,
you
mate.
go. No bother. Ah, that's it. They're the opportunities where you need Isaac, really, aren't you? With the better dribbler out of the two by quite a bit.
Yeah.
No, this is a win. We need to do it quite convincingly. I think, just to get everyone kind of calm down and get everyone back into the swing of things.
Where do you kind of predict Sheffield United to finish this season? Do you think they'll be in and around the bottom of the table?
19th,
Oh, okay.
19th with Luton bottom. I would have thought. Obviously they were unlucky yesterday, but and then I think it'll be either Wolves or Everton to go down. I still think Burnley are going to come into form at some point. I
Yeah.
know Everton had a convincing win yesterday, but I'm just not sold on them still. The reminders of Sunderland in the mid teens with just hanging on every season, finding a way to just clinch onto that place, not going down. And I think this season or next, it's eventually going to happen,
Uh,
which will suit them as well, mate. Because I think the whole club's just got the ethos of like a championship club or lower.
yeah. Just thinking where to put this chat box, to be fair.
Chris says not getting Madison was a massive error. Yeah, had another good performance today. Two assists, I think. Caught the last kind of half hour of the North London derby, which was a decent game. They're not usually the best of games. I would have said the North London derby, but it was decent. Madison looked good. Half looked like he was going to come off at one point with a muscle injury, but played on for a little bit longer and definitely knocking on the door of the England squad
Mm.
again.
Yeah, it was. I think it's it's always going to look. Uh, it's easy to look back with regards to hindsight as well, isn't it? I mean, Tonali probably hasn't been as effective as James Madison, and that's you know okay to say. I think with Eddie Howe coming out and say, he's got to do better there, in my opinion. Bruno Guimaraes with an opportunity to give Callum Wilson the ball in acres of space.
Yeah,
Yeah, obviously Eddie Howe come out and spoke about Sandro Tonali not training as much with the first team because of international duty and that sort of thing. So we saw it with Anthony Gordon. Obviously, Sandro Tonali's been at AC Milan. It was a little bit of a different story, but again, I think it might prove how difficult our training regime is and how fit the lads really are.
yeah, and I mean you've seen how long it's taken Gordon to get up the speed it's taken him from January through preseason, having a solid preseason, and then now he's hitting the ground running. But I think he'll come up to speed. And I mean, Madison was always going to look more effective than Tonali, having the Premier League experience and obviously always and being a midfielder that plays further afield. I think Eddie's yet to figure out where to play Bruno and Tonali in respect of each other in the midfield. And I think at the minute we're massively missing that pivot between Joe Linton and Willock on the left, because I
Yeah.
think all season that's how we played. So we're suddenly having to adapt to a totally different style of play.
What actually happened to Madison? I missed it.
So he just went for the ball and just looked like one of his muscles just like kind of popped. He got up, he tried to play on a bit, and then went off. But
Fantastic.
cracking assist for the second. Well, cracking work for the second goal, nicking it off Jorginho and then slotting it through perfectly for Son, whose first time finish was class as well.
Just looking at that Manchester City game, do you think we can beat them on Wednesday night?
Bit more confident now that Rodri's not going
Get
to be
in! Is he off? Oh, Andy, I'm sorry,
Get
mate.
in.
I'm sorry.
Get in.
Gonna have to-
We've seen a goal on a watch-along.
Oh yeah,
And we're actually winning. What's going on? The only
1-0.
worries is we just need to hope that ball's staying on the pitch.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be close, isn't it? And you guys are
Yeah.
going to know in the chat before us, but Sean Longstaff, I think it was Anthony Gordon, who we've spoken about, manages to keep the ball in, cuts it back. Sean Longstaff just inside the edge of the 18, buries it. I think it was off his left foot as well. Newcastle United 1-0 up. Surely they're going to check this. It's got to be close. It's
Anthony
not even
Gordon
close,
is
is
looking.
it? It's not even close. Anthony Gordon, you absolute class act.
Oh, are they going to give the handball?
Oh, I haven't seen that. No, did it touch his hand?
Yeah, bounces up off his right hand.
It's that last little bit from that angle. It was close, wasn't it? Anthony Gordon.
It is in the ball. It's just whether they're going to give the handball or not, which, judging by how VAR decisions have been for us lately,
There's a possibility.
yeah.
Oh,
I mean, the one against Brentford for Callum Wilson's goal last week was an absolute joke.
it's been given.
Anthony,
It's given. It's all good.
It's given. Bella. Gordon is looking more and more Geordie every time I see him.
Is that what in what sort of sense that he's more raj or?
Well, a little bit, but then like he's trim. It just I don't
Yeah.
know. It's getting like shorter and shorter, and he's gonna end up looking like Elliot Anderson by next week.
Newcastle United 1-0 up with a fantastic team goal, to be fair. Anthony Gordon busting the gut to keep that in, not giving up a last-ditch chance to give it back to Sean Longstaff. I said he was at the edge of the 18-yard box. He was more like the edge of the 6-yard box, and he can't really miss. But it was a good finish all in all. Newcastle United 1-0 up away at Sheffield United. Get in! Maybe we shouldn't do these at the junction.
Oh, it'd been great though, having everyone's reaction in the back, and then obviously our reactions being at the same time as well.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant. Wayne, I can still see you in the comments, so that means that you've decided not to piss off yet, which I really appreciate. It will get better as we go on. If you haven't already, smash that like button for the first goal of the afternoon. Hopefully more to come from Newcastle. Yeah, we need this, don't we? A little bit of injection of confidence. I don't want to talk about Sheffield United as a sort of confidence booster because I don't want to do them any disrespect, but this is definitely what we need, an early goal.
Yeah, 100%. We need to carry this on now, get a few more. I think we just need to pick ourselves back up. I mean, the win against Brentford was a good one, but we didn't play great. And I think just these lads that have came in, obviously the ones that aren't playing all the time, you like Anderson and now Longstaff. I think a good convincing win today will do them world of good, and it'll do Sean the world of good getting a goal as well.
Yeah. Tell you what, I was a little bit skeptical looking at that midfield. I did think that he was going to start Sandro Tonali, to be honest. Obviously, I put the video out yesterday talking. Oh, well done. At the possibility of this happening, but I didn't expect this and Harvey Barnes to start.
Yeah, I mean it's more or less the same lineup that faced Brentford, isn't it? In the front three. I know Meggy came later on. I just think I don't know if Tonali's still feeling it with apparently that knock he got on international break.
Yeah. What goes wayward? Miggy Almiron
What a day.
unable to keep that one in. Anthony Gordon standing there saying, "It's all right, Miggy. I'll show you how it's done."
Yeah, I would quite like to see when Willock and Joe Linton are back fit,
Yeah.
bring that pivot back in and put Anthony Gordon on the right hand side. Because I mean, he could. Anthony Gordon's one of them players you're lucky to have that can happily play anywhere across that front three.
I- I'm so desperate for Joe Willett to come back into the fold. It's surprise. It's always the age old adage, isn't it? That you don't know how much you miss something until it's gone, and genuinely like
Yeah.
massively miss him.
Oh, mate, he's quality as well. I mean, that pass for Isaacs in
Yeah,
the Spurs game
off
was
the outside of his
absolutely
boots.
outrageous.
So
Like, he's still got bags of potential as well. I don't think we've seen him at like at his best. He's just. I know Maxi give you that bit of excitement, but I just think when you watch Joe Willock when he's taking players on, like 9 times out of 10 you're getting the result. While like Maxi, it was like 2 times out of 10 he was actually getting past people. So yeah, I just can't wait to see Willock in the same kind of team as Gordon as well. And I think it could be pivotal because it's a bit of a different thing for the Champions League as well. The teams won't have played against like a pivot like how Joe Linton and Willock do.
absolutely agree, mate. Sheffield United with a decent chance there and balloons it over the bar.
We'll take them all day.
100%. Corner comes in. Pope scrambles, pushes it out. I don't know who that fell to there. Who was that?
Pope, by the way, was fantastic against Milan. That was him back at his best.
I was surprised that he didn't. I'm surprised that he didn't because he didn't officially get the spot for the team of the week, did he? I know he did it, got one via who scored, who do the ratings, but officially, I think it was PSG's goalkeeper, was it? That got it.
Potentially, I've not actually seen it.
But I
But
think it was unfair. I thought Nick Pope deserved that personally. I think he's the not the sole reason, but a huge reason as to why we've come away with
oh, right, that's got to be a straight red. A
booking
yellow.
so far.
He's jumped off of both feet and gone through the back of him.
Yeah, it's a nasty challenge. That is, if
I
he
know they
catches
say
him
the
wrong,
game's gone soft, but hang on.
he's got to have another look at that. It's a nasty challenge.
There's no intent to get the ball. He
Very,
should be
very
let off
lucky to
there,
just come
mind.
away with a booking from, especially coming in from behind as well. As you said, he
Mm.
catches him wrong, and that's an easy ACL, MCL. But
But
Newcastle
there's
United
no
with
intent to play the ball either there.
absolutely none. Newcastle with a big chance here, free kick out wide on the left, and yeah, we've got a big side, haven't we? To be fair,
Yeah, but we need to get better at these set pieces. They've not been a hit of recently.
good ball whipped in. Oh, someone just needs to get a touch on that. That is
Oh,
criminal.
Callum Wilson was close. Yeah, just I don't know why we haven't been great at set pieces of recent. I mean, we've not tried that routine, the one that where Dan Burns scored against Brighton again since that goal.
Yeah, it was. We were almost well from the get go, and that could have been a very very good ball from the get go. As soon as Eddie Howe and Tyndall and those came in, it was we almost become renowned for these custom sort of set pieces, didn't we? That have just gone awry now.
Yeah, and I mean when half your players are over 6 foot as well, you should be scoring more from corners. How rare we score from corners with Kieran Trippier, who's
Yeah,
one of the best set piece takers in the world. I mean,
and
I'd like to see when Tonali comes back into the fold, Tonali start taking more set pieces as well, just to mix it up a bit.
Anthony Gordon beats his man, cuts back again, out for a corner. He's
He's class, isn't he?
he really really is. There was a lot of people that mainly Scousers, obviously.
Mm.
Evertonians and Mackhams saying that he was overrated and it was a waste of money. But he is really, as soon as he's got up to standards with regards to his fitness, he's been absolutely excellent. Excellent.
40 million's an absolute bargain, by
I
the way.
agree.
I remember saying it around the time I made the point of this was a player that Chelsea wanted to pay 60 million for. and we knocked 20 million off that price. And yes, not amazing when he first joined, but now he's up to the fitness. He's absolutely quality. Oh,
Another corner, I think, as well. Just as we talk about the stemming of these custom corners, one comes out here, and I think we end up with another corner from it. I think, was it Miggy who's tried to hit it? Yeah, Miggy
yeah.
ends
The
up
off
with
Shaw's
another
arm, though. I
one.
think if
Was
that
it
went
off
in,
Shaw?
that
Oh,
would have
yeah,
been
sorry.
disordering. But they need to get they need to get Gordon a new shirt. It's hanging off of him.
Looks like a great fizz in. Oh, what a goal! What a goal that is. We talk about we need to be Dan Burn at the back
Get
post,
in.
diving header, not even worrying where he is. What a finish! What a finish that is. And
Get
as
in.
soon as that left Trippier's boot, I was like, what a ball that is. Fizzing across the face of goal. Dan Burn
That's
diving like an absolute
quality.
salmon, pings it bottom corner. What a goal. Newcastle 2, Sheffield United 0. This is exactly what we needed. Talk me through that, mate. I think we
First
should
ball
start
in.
talking about how we need to do this stuff and we've not been doing things because it seems like we've talked it into
That is
action.
fantastic.
What
I've
a
not
header.
seen Trippier play a ball that deep from a corner in a long time. Tell you what, there'd have been a show for a penalty and all.
Get
How
him, mate.
well? How on earth, knowing Castore's quality, that shirt's kept in one piece?
Love that.
Because I mean, I don't
Well,
know how Gordon's is hanging off his shoulder. I don't know how that's happened.
no
We
idea.
won't have
Oh, I think
these
he tried.
problems for much longer.
No, this is very true. Very true indeed. Buzzing. I didn't expect this, if I'm honest. I didn't. I thought it would be a little bit tighter than this.
Um, I was confident going into it, but I think when I saw the starting lineup, I thought, oh, here we go. This might be another 1-0, but now it looks like we could go nick 3, 4, 5. Yeah,
Yeah.
they've had the couple of chances, but they just look like they're just going to sky everything off.
It's exactly what we needed. What's Sam say? He needs Elliot Anderson for what? See, the thing is, yeah, we spoke. I mean, I had
Fantasy trifecta.
Harvey Barnes brace. I did this morning.
I had
Yeah.
on my bet. I had Harvey Barnes and Callum Wilson to score, but so that's null and void now.
Yeah, we look very comfortable.
It's
Anthony
Russell
Gordon,
Blue.
he's nicked it. Anthony Gordon's in. He's giving it to Callum Wilson. Oh, you've got to do better there, mate. Anthony Gordon is on fire. Absolute
What's
fire.
Wilson done there? That wasn't like him.
Oh, he's going to send him. He doesn't like this. I think he's going to send him. Kieran Trippier's
Oh.
absolutely lost it. That did look like it was a bad challenge, to be fair.
Go on, Trips. Great Captain Trippier.
That looked like a nasty tackle.
I'd have no patience as a referee, mate.
Hooking
See
him
where
again.
little, like the all like crowd round us here. I'd
Yeah.
have me cards out like that, like right.
I love Kieran Trippier. He's not getting aggressive. He's just saying, like, come on, mate.
Well, when he did it with Jesus, oh,
Lucky he's got the ball, to be fair. I'm not overly, like, it's a really good, hard challenge, but it's dangerous. It's dangerous. He's timed it perfectly, to be fair to him, but, like, if he doesn't get the ball, that's a leg
if he hadn't
breaker.
get it, yeah, it would have been red. I liked Trippier with Gabriel Jesus. I know we got beaten the game, but it was like Jesus. It went over, and then Arsenal had a throw in. And, Arsenal's TikTok even shared it on their thing to try and make Jesus look like this hard man, and he just looked a complete tit. 'Cause he's backed up into Trippier, backed up like this, and then falls over. It's like what are you trying to show off there?
Oh, no, mate.
I think I need to turn my Twitter notifications off.
Well, I didn't have
You know
much
how
choice because I got banned, but what was?
like you know
Oh
how I was
my
complaining
god!
about
Is
me
that
set
why you need to
pieces?
turn your notifications off?
Yeah.
Sven Botman. Sven Botman. Fucking get in.
Come on, go and get 6 or 7.
Oh mate, what do I know? Doing my
What
predictions,
do we
saying that
know
this is
about
going to be
set
a
pieces?
it was going to be a difficult game, and that we're shit at set pieces. Oh wow!
Hey, there was people complaining that this was the main game on the Sunday.
I know. I mean, to be fair, no, I won't even say
These
it.
look like a sinking ship.
Yeah, this is yeah, you're right. This could be 6 or 7. That
I
isn't.
mean, I was convinced by. I mean, that's terrible goalkeeping.
I was
I was
just going to say, he
convinced.
seemed just absolutely rooted, didn't he?
He was absolutely static. I mean, I was convinced by how Burnley had done coming up, and I mean, Sheffield United kept up with them for the major part, but it's just Burnley looked like they could stay up. Sheffield United and Luton look way off it. I think it's the poorest kind of two sides to come up from the Championship in a long time.
I mean, I think I kind of expected it from Luton.
Yeah,
Not kind of, I definitely expected it from Luton. Again, no disrespect to them. Obviously, they've had 2, if not 3, very good Championship seasons, and I think at some point they were always going to make a real push to get into the Premier League, and obviously they did that this season. But there is just no way you look at them and think they've got anything about them to be able to stay in this league. Like, it's so far, and it's mad, isn't it, that one of the best teams in the Championship aren't going to have a sniff of staying in the Premier League. That's how big
yeah,
the gap has become.
yeah. It is. Obviously the other teams have had the chance to kind of bring some incomings in. I think Luton and Sheffield United, to be fair to them, have been quite tight on the incomings. Lost players they didn't necessarily want to lose. I know that's definitely in the Sheffield United camp, but I think Luton having to spend the money
Oh,
on
Anthony
ground on
Gordon's
the
in here.
ground.
Oh, sorry, mate. He's making a meal of it.
Oh,
It might be checked, you know. I
well,
actually think that might be
it's
a
just the thing.
penalty.
The referees play far too much on player reputation. Because I think any other player that's probably a straight whistle blow,
That's a
just
penalty.
in
That is
case.
100% a penalty. That's a penalty. It's not
Oh, it
even
is.
close.
He has
Penalty?
went down easy, but it's a
Yeah.
pen.
Are they checking it?
Sneak me commentary up a little bit.
The first camera angle was the one.
Second one is as well. He's made the contact.
They're not even checking it. They can't tell me they've checked that and that they've not given it. We're in. We're in again.
Oh, brilliant block for. Oof.
Yeah, you're right though. Sheffield United are absolutely all over the place at the back now. Not
Yeah,
only are
no.
they struggling to keep up with us, but they're committing challenges that they're getting away with at the moment.
I think these are going to end up with a red.
Yeah.
100%. I just think they've lost their heads. I think that they're playing way out of the depth. I think they've probably convinced themselves, looking at our heavily rotated lineup, that they're in with half a chance, and we
Yeah.
go 3-0 up before half time, and they're just looking
Oh.
how ropey the passes are. Like Gordon could have capitalised on that one just there.
Yeah.
There's just oof.
Miggy getting a
Miggy's
little
going to
bit
go
of
in the book
revenge on
here.
Fogel there. Yeah, he's completely mistimed that.
He was one the last time Chef were up. The Bogle was one that people were saying to kind of look out for. But
Wait, I think it's he's just done very well throughout the league, like progressing throughout the league. Because I'm sure he was at Knox County prior.
yeah,
But yeah, he's I agree. He was one that people were looking that almost replace. Was it because I think Shay Adams was at Sheffield United for a bit? Is that right? Or am I talking out my arse? I can't remember.
he's still at Southampton. And he was.
No, I mean
Did
prior.
Southampton not sign him from Birmingham?
Yes, they did. They did, mate. Yeah. So I'm talking absolute waffle. So ignore it. Let's go and watch the team review.
Miggy needs to impress us this game though. He's just done absolute sod all the last couple of games. I know he was decent when he came on Milan in terms of his graft, but in kind of his end product, it's just not been there so far this season.
No, he's kind of reverted back to the Miggy that we know and love, grafter. Like you say, just with the less than great end product, which is
Heads have
a shame because
completely gone.
he's clearly capable of it.
Yeah, I keep saying if he had a right foot, he'd be one of the best wingers in the world. But he's just so left-footed that as a defender, you know what he's going to do. It's just if Miggy can do it quick enough and get away from them, it's just he sometimes gets caught up where he needs that right foot to bring him to help bring him inside. He just can't do it.
Oh, what? Who chucked?
Fucking
Someone chucked something at
Mongs.
Elliot Anderson in the celebration. Then
Absolute mongs. Ban them for life and get them locked up.
fucking idiots. Was it a Sheffield United fan?
Aye. Absolute tin pot, man.
Jesus.
Should just see if teams the paying are right, and if they look like they're not going to compete in the Premier League, just relegate them straight away. Just save them the hassle. Don't give them the parachute payments. Send them down.
I mean, to be fair, I'm surprised that Luton haven't been fined and docked points because everybody knows that you have to have a certain. Your stadium has to be of a certain caliber, doesn't it, to be able to come into
Yeah.
the Premier League? And it's the same if you're outside of the football league. If you're coming up from outside of non-league football, then you have to upgrade your ground to be able to meet specific requirements. And Luton have been knocking on the door for a long time. So the fact that they hadn't sought investment or invested some of the money to at least sort the away stand out,
Yeah.
going through someone's fucking living room essentially.
I mean, I get it in terms of like not pulling the trigger midway through last season just to make sure they were spending the money that they needed to spend.
Anthony Gordon's on the run. Oh, he's a great ball through to Wilson. Mate, Wilson's got to fucking take these chances. Sorry. But Anthony Gordon, just again, absolutely tearing them a new arsehole, for want of a better word.
He's quality, man. Honestly, I watched him throughout the younguns as Euros through the summer, playing as a striker, and he was just like terrifying defenses. He's bringing something to this team that we haven't had for a long while. We've not had a player that'll happily free roam and create stuff. I'd say since like peak Ben Arthur.
Yeah.
Where he can just pick up the ball from
Just
anywhere
carry
and
it.
drive us forward. Yeah.
And carry the rest of the team along with him because he's so quick as well. Another great ball in that is Anthony. Oh, I thought that was going in there. He's absolutely ballooned it wide, but he's struck
That's
it well.
miles off eye.
He's got some power behind it.
Someone needs to put a new shirt on him. It's absolutely hanging off him.
I mean, maybe that's why he's doing so well. Superstitions and all that.
There's something about us playing in blue though. So next season, I need a blue kit. None of this Saudi inspired or anything. And I know some people quite like the green kit. I'll be honest, Carl, I'll absolutely detest it. I think it's one of the worst kits we've ever had.
Well, it was interesting, mate, because when it first came out, I was like, oh, I like that. It's a little bit different. And then I seen it in person. I was like, I'm not too sure. And I tried it on because I've got the home one and the white one, the blue one. Sorry. And then tried the green one on, and it just fit a little bit smaller than, or it fit a little bit different than the home one. And I love the way the home one fits this year. I think they've got it spot on. And then I just looked at it more and more, and my brother come up and he was like, because I said, which one do you want for your birthday? Because I was going to get him the blue or the green one. And he was the same as you. He's like, I'm just not. First of all, he's like, I like it, but now he's like, I hate it. I hate it. I was like, that's not fair enough. But then I think it was you that put in the chat for the was it the Leverkusen keeper top?
Yeah, the keeper's shirt.
I was like,
It's
Jesus
like
Christ,
literally
like it was
they've
actually the
darkened it
same
up a
kit.
bit. They've like turned the brightness tint down,
Yeah,
and that's it. There's just there's no kind of inspiration behind any of the designs. I mean, the kit we're playing in is a carbon copy of Man United's away kit from last season.
yeah,
It's
it is, to be fair, isn't it?
it's like a Turkey ripoff. It's like the one you'd get from like a market in Turkey of their kit last season. And I mean, I know they've tried to copy our home shirt this season, but there's no need for us to go around doing
No,
it the other way as well. But I mean, I've got a few of the Pro Spec Adidas shirts, and I'm just so excited to just spend all of my living wage on like Newcastle stuff next season.
it is going to be. I'm really excited to see the like I said, the sort of limited edition pieces that they do. Um,
Have you seen the new ones they've brought out now? It's like the For the Fans collection, where it's like a heavier version of the third kits,
no,
where it's like a heavier like cotton, and it just looks so nice.
no, that sounds good though. I don't know, like because I used to get like a load of Tufts tops back at retro stuff in the day,
Yeah.
back in the day, like really like you say heavy cotton stuff that are just really good.
But
Um,
it's like this one. This is one of my favorite kits. I think it's one of the most underrated away kits we've had, just because it's quite different for us.
yeah,
But it's like it's heavy. It's like, but it's still like nice, and it's got that netting about it. I don't know how we'll fast forwarded 20 years and Castore are making like these just like synthetic like they're not. I wore mine on holiday while I was away on holiday, and it was not nice to wear for a long time. Like
no, I
just
bet.
sticks down. I mean, I know I'm not in the best of shape, but like, oh, that was classed by Anderson. But they just they stick there, and it's not a nice material to wear. I'd be interested to try the pro ones. Like I mentioned, I've got a few of the Adidas ones.
Yeah,
I haven't tried the Castore ones, but it's just I don't know how they're getting all the big deals that they've got Castore.
it was mad because they kind of just seemed like they come out of nowhere. Like you said, I went on the website then, and then there was like 15 more deals that they'd done. Obviously, there was Wolves, and we've got deals within the F1 and golf and tennis, and and rugby as well. I mean, don't get me wrong, rugby's absolutely on its arse, or at least rugby union is on its arse, which is a shame for some of the clubs. But yeah, it's, they've- got a seriously good marketing team, I can imagine. Um, because
Just I don't
everybody
know.
talks about how crap but at the
The
very
customer
least, the
service is
distribution is.
awful.
Yeah.
But like even just like the normal stuff, like it's just rubbish. Like the training gear, I hate that they keep using this like cityscape thing. Like Adidas did it perfectly on that goalkeeper kit, but the way Castore do it just makes it look like a uni prospectus. Like all that training top's missing is a Northumbria uni logo. Like
The,
welcome class of 24.
the thing that gets me, right, is that like I just because they go down that kind of it's that sort of Gymshark look, feel, material, and I'm just not about it. Just not about
Yeah,
it.
no,
I can't
I've
justify
just
walking in there and paying 70 quid for some tracksuit bottoms that don't have either a Nike tick or an Adidas logo on them.
yeah.
You know.
I mean, from next season, I mean, I've always been more Nike than Adidas,
Oh
but
my word! Is he kept that in as well? Sorry, mate. Yeah,
I'm
you were saying about
all
Nike.
yeah. I've always been more Nike in terms of like lifestyle stuff, but even like the lifestyle stuff, Adidas is starting to improve and stuff. And I know that there's obviously the the culture there of the sambas and stuff like that, but it's just all the Adidas football gear is so nice. If you want a little like kind of hint of what's to come for us next season, definitely go and look at like on Adidas and the Arsenal collection
Mm.
because as far as I'm aware, I think we're going to be in that elite category with it'll be us, Arsenal, Real Madrid, um, maybe Ajax. I think Ajax's stuff is so bespoke as well, where all your stuff is bespoke to the team. There's not much of the template stuff, and like everything specifically designed for that team, which will just be lush. I mean, it's boring, but I can't wait for just a black hoodie with the Adidas Originals logo and the Newcastle badge. I think it'll
Oh
just look
man, that
clean
makes
as.
me stiff.
It'd be
Oh,
so
that makes
nice.
me stiff. Um, yeah, it's.
Oh,
I can't wait for it, to be fair. I really can't.
I wonder if we're going to get a collection based on the metro seats, like Arsenal got with the underground.
Can you imagine?
They'll do it, but it'll be late to come out.
Wayne says I like Adidas, but just bought the Newcastle one. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I've liked a lot of the designs that they've done, but there are some that they've not got right, and you do realise, like you say, that once you have a little bit of a look, that it is just sort of template stuff. It's not really a
Yeah,
bespoke design. But I do
I
like
mean,
his home kit. I will say that I'm a big fan of the way.
yeah, I love the home kit. But it's just like they don't think about the designs. I mean, that first home kit they made for us, they didn't think about. I mean, thank God we've got rid of the funny 88 sponsor on the front of the shirt because that was horrible. That
Mm.
big blue, like the away shirt. If you feel it from last season, it's just this massive slab of like a stick-on thing. It's horrible to wear. Oh, going in.
This is going to
Oh,
be
he's quality. He's. I don't know how people dare say we've overpaid for him. Like,
a cricket score at this rate.
tell you what, for a skinny thing, he's strong as well. Gordon, he holds himself on the ball really well, and he's got to be putting his name in the hat for an England spot. And I know it's very tough to get in that England spot, especially in the position Anthony Gordon plays in. But he's just in the form of his life at the minute.
He is, mate. It's been an absolutely, I mean, unfortunate circumstances for him to come onto the pitch, of course, but ever since he has absolutely taken the game by the scruff of the neck, and I think it's fair to say that he's been the defining factor in essentially getting us to where we are. Fantastic start to drag the ball back for and not give up on that opportunity to bring the ball back for Sean Longstaff, who finishes that. He's intercepted passes, chased everything down at every opportunity, having opportunities and chances, shots when he has a sight of goal, and he's just been excellent. Here he is, Mr. Mulliner. See if we can add him in.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
I thought I'd just pop on just because I never get to experience a goal on these watch-alongs.
Three of them, Sam. 3 of them.
Who would have thought it? Anthony Gordon, man. And has Andy mentioned about Castore kit quality then? Because I saw right at the end of the first half, Anthony Gordon's collar is peeling off.
Just the last 10 minutes, Sam. Just the last 10 minutes.
Oh, were you?
We've been talking about Adidas and Castore. I think it's quite well known how much I dislike Castore.
Yeah, there you go. Well, no, everything's all good. It's quite an impressive display, really.
I think I was saying to Andrew, I just had in my head that I thought Sheffield United had been playing, although they've been beaten every game bar one. I thought they'd been playing okay football this season, and I thought it was going to be, there was a potential for it to be a banana skin or at least a close game, and we've blown them apart. I think Adam said in the WhatsApp group that he doesn't even think we played necessarily well. Whether that's a dig at me after the Milan fixture, I don't know. I'm joking.
That's very funny. I think we had to weather the storm first 15-20, but I remember I remember talking to Sebastian Bassong before the cup final, and I said about this playing Champions League, then the league, and 2 games a week, Wednesday, Saturday, Tuesday, whatever. And he says, yeah, sometimes, because he obviously did it not with us but with Spurs. And he says, yeah, it does sometimes take you 15, 20, 25 minutes just to get back into it, and the aches will subside and whatnot. But I think that's kind of what happened with us today so far. We are Newcastle after all. So a few kind of tired bodies that needed to get back into the swing of things in the midfield. But let's not forget, Sean and Bruno have played pretty much every minute the past 2 games, and they're doing fantastic. So yeah, once we got back into the swing of it and weathered that storm, we've been absolutely dominant. How good is Anthony Gordon?
Mate, he's just unbelievably energetic. And I was saying to Andrew, some of the lads, and my mates that aren't Newcastle fans, said the majority of them have been very complimentary of him. And obviously, you get the odd Villa fan like, "Oh, you've overpaid for him," but the sensible ones have talked about how much of a quality player he is, and some of them have kind of labelled him as a more sensible Maximan. I think. What do you think to that? And obviously, sometimes it's difficult to hear because of the emotional attachment we have to ASM, but I almost agree with it. I think.
Yeah, I love ASM.
Yeah.
But let's not forget, Harvey Barnes, hopefully it doesn't look too serious, but Gordon is much more my sort of winger, if you know what I mean. Now he's playing like we know he was supposed to have this fantastic potential. Chelsea wanted him for 60 million. They'd probably give us 400 million for him at the moment. He's got, how many assists has he got this season already?
I don't know. I can check though.
Let me go on the Premier League app. I've got him in my fantasy football. So
I mean, definitely 2. Might be
Do you think
3.
we're going to see? Sorry, just throw a spanner in the works. Do you think we're going to see Isak in the second half?
Maybe, but I wouldn't be surprised if Howe keeps. Yeah, I know what you're saying with Wilson, who's had a couple of 3 chances, but he'll probably have a couple of 3 in the second half and bury him.
Yeah.
You could keep Isak fresh for Wednesday. Huge game, of course. Wouldn't surprise me to see maybe Lewis Hall come on in centre midfield in the second half for Bruno or Sean. We just need an Elliot Anderson goal for the Geordie trifecta, don't we?
I was saying to Andrew, obviously I put in the group earlier, like Harvey Barnes brace for me. I'm absolutely gutted for the lad, and like you say, I hope it's nothing too serious. But what do you think? Do you think the reasoning for Gordon not starting was to just give him a bit of a rest? I mean, does he need it though after what we've just seen from him?
I mean, it'll catch up with him eventually, isn't it? Let's not forget, the next 2 weeks we've got. 3 weeks in a row we'd have midweek games with Milan, Man City this Wednesday, of course, and then we're at home to PSG.
How silly does that sound?
So stupid. Honestly, I mean, the last time we had midweek games, it was like playing QPR away on the Tuesday night.
Yeah.
And, we had fucking Doncaster at home or something.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Sheffield United on a Tuesday night as well, but, it's insane.
It's good, but the one thing I would say to take away from all of this is that Green King pubs have over 900 public houses in the UK, and they are all showing today's Newcastle televised game. So they're bringing the live action to you, Green King Sport.
What I would do as well, because it's actually not just the Newcastle content that we've been sending them, but the rest of their content's very enjoyable that they put out on their Instagram page, which they've just started to grow. And the Newcastle stuff is doing the best, to be fair, which we're not surprised about, because bar today, because this has been a shambles and it's all my fault and I completely apologise. We do actually put some good content together. So please go and follow Green King Sport on Instagram and download their app as well, because you are able to check. Because they actually have over 1,800 pubs, don't they? Or something stupid.
Yes, and some are very, very good eateries.
They are. They are.
Award-winning pies.
I found several in the
Why don't you tell us about your pie in the junction?
It was very nice. It was a very, I would describe it as an Anthony Gordon pie. It had the legs of a spring chicken. It was full-bodied, and what a finish!
I love it.
I honestly don't know where I was going with that or how that went, but I'm feeling better, by the way.
I'm sure Peter.
Thanks for asking.
Are you has COVID been rid from your body yet, or?
I feel great. I feel fine. Well, I say I feel great. But who does feel great these days? Yeah, I'm okay. I'm fine. I'm compared to the last time. Jesus. Yeah, all good. So the next time we're all, the next time we do a watch along, we will be at the Green King pub. We will be all together. Back normal service will resume, and good times will be had.
I'm not even Lee puts so much work in, and like this Evie Mux it's just doing my head in. It's too much.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
not
well, I will leave you to it because I have to go back to parenting. But yeah,
I feel like you're
like
copping out of this conversation, but that's okay.
you are.
I feel like you're copping out of this conversation, but that's okay.
No, I
That's a yes.
no. Lee
It's powerful.
is fully aware on how I feel about EV Mucks. Yeah, if EV Mucks bigwigs are watching, fuck me, you've got some explaining to do. But anyway,
all it is for me is just adding like you in, like having to sort out the dimensions is just a nightmare. Like I would just expect it to just split the three of us, but
yeah, I know,
anyway.
but that would be too simple. But you know,
sorry, Lee.
We're winning 3-0. I'm buzzing for Sven Botman as well.
Yeah.
He deserved a goal, and he's finally got one. Superb header, but I'm buzzing with him. But so fingers crossed for a good positive
Also, before
second half.
you go, what header from Dan Burn?
Just raw, rigid power.
Sounds like my penis. Joking.
And on that bombshell, I will depart.
Have
a good second half. Love you all. Bye-bye.
Bye. Yeah, this went west. But I think that's probably. I don't even know how many of you are watching now. So, yeah, if you don't want to stay and you want to go to the 2 review, then everyone else has. But no, on a serious note, if you're here, drop a like. If you like what you see, great. But like Sam said, we're usually in the junction, as most of you know. And we haven't done these. See, I've even got to remove him now. Like, what is that about? Can you? Oh, I don't know what's going on here. So, yeah, is it the last time that I was doing watch-alongs like this was back during COVID time? So, out of practice.
Oh God! Well, we won't talk about any of the football from COVID time because something got brought up when I first started seeing my lass when we moved in with each other just so we could see each other through COVID. She hated the football just purely because of the standard of it, and now she loves it.
Yeah, it's.
I think it's mainly for Shaw and Callum Wilson, but I'm trying to tell myself that she likes the football, not just our gorgeous players.
We do have a very good-looking team, to be fair, don't we?
We do. I think there's half a policy going on at the minute where we're only saying eight out of 10s and above.
Yeah, if you want to, I don't know, let's go.
This is going west.
Then. No, yeah, we're getting back to the game. 45 minutes left, 3-0 up. How do you think it's going to end? Quick score prediction.
6-0.
Do you think it's going to be 6?
More.
No, you said that.
At least the way if they come out in the second half and they still haven't getting their heads together, it's going to be wraps for them. If they come out and they've picked themselves up and kind of getting themselves together, they might have half a chance of getting one. But they look naff. They've had clear chances and just they don't look like anyone that's got. I mean, touch wood. That's got anyone that's capable of putting the ball in the back of the net at the minute.
No, they don't. It's yeah. That I don't even. There's not much else to be said other than that. They've been crap. To be fair.
Yeah.
I'm really surprised at how rattled they've been by that press.
Yeah, well,
and the
after the first
passes.
goal, the heads have just gone. I'm still convinced that we'll see a red card in the second half.
I am as well. I think, especially if we pick up where we left off, I think with the pace out of both Miggy and Anthony Gordon and the press from Callum Wilson as well, I think there's definitely an opportunity for another wayward pass and a late challenge. And who was on a booking from them lot? I can't remember.
I can have a quick look for you. I've just realised that Bet365 have kindly refunded my bet.
Oh, happy days!
Because Harvey Barnes went off within 10 minutes. I did change it when I seen the lineup. I had Gordon to get a shot on target, and then changed it for a Harvey Barnes goal. So I should have just stuck with it. Card. Bet365 is very awkward to look at compared to.
Just going to go through some of these comments while Andrew's looking at that. SCW says Gordon is rapid. Kilburnsy meets. According to OneFootball, Longstaff is man of the match at the moment, beating Gordon by 1.1 ratings. I'd have to give it to Gordon so far. I would agree. And Gordon has been amazing. Barnes looked nervous before injury. Hope he keeps his head up, but Gordon's been the difference. Agreed. Didn't Eddie say it was for a rest? Yeah, it would have been for a rest. I was just saying, the way he's played this first half, it almost looks like he didn't need one. But Aaron Taylor says, sure, we'll be proud of those two headers, won't you just? They were very Shearer-esque, weren't they? And in the coming years, we'll have a lot of the England squad players. Wayne says, I said 3-0, but I hope we get more. Did you expect it to be 3-0 at half time, Wayne? That's the question, mate.
Yeah.
Abu says, who would have thought Gordon would have been our best player? Well, I never doubted it because at the time we signed him. I'm not saying I expected him to be our best player because that would be a lie, but I never doubted the ability that he might possess because I always thought that Eddie and the guys, whoever they were going to bring in was going to be a good shout. But he's exceeding expectations pretty quickly. To be fair to him this season.
I mean, I just can't believe, like, from when we signed Gordon, he was. You could tell he just wasn't at it just purely because of the situation at Everton, and he's gone away, had that pre-season away with the England under-20 quads, and came back, and he's just. You'd see he's in top 3 of our best players at the minute.
Oh, easily, mate. Right, let me get this going again. So we are off. Newcastle with the ball 3-0 up. Who would have thought it going into the first half, Newcastle being 3-0 up away from home? I certainly wouldn't. I'm sure some of you might have. But let's hope we can pick up where we left off. And although I want to say it almost looks like it's over already, I think it's probably a little bit too soon to say that. I don't want to tempt fate too much, but as I do, Miguel runs in. Callum Wilson unable to give the reverse pass to him. Sheffield United clear the ball, but it comes straight back to Trips.
The in-play bet builder is now on.
What have you put on?
Wilson to score anytime. I think he will get one. Bruno and Gordon get another shot on target, and then over 8 corners in the game.
Nice.
Fiver gets 140 quid back.
Trips gives the ball to Miggs, who gives it to Longstaff out to Trippier. Longstaff out wide on the right. Nothing going. Gives it back to Trippier. And the ball's given away. We've been talking about Anthony Gordon so much, mate. Would you make a Bruno Guimaraes performance? I mean this in the most respectful way. I almost forgot he was playing.
Today?
Yeah, today. Yeah.
I think the 3 midfielders have kind of blended into one, haven't they, really?
Yeah.
The ball doesn't seem to be dropping in the middle of the pitch much. It's just going from end to end, and then we're just putting the ball in the net. It just seems like out of everyone, Gordon's having the most of the ball, just purely out of taking it back off the Sheffield United defence.
Whilst we're on it, I don't think it's been made. I don't think the club have put out a statement yet, have they? Or did they do that yesterday regards Bruno's contract? I know, obviously, everyone's thinking about it.
I didn't see anything. I know people are jumping the gun about this release
Clause.
well.
Yeah, what's your thoughts on it?
At first, like, it was kind of a shock, but then when you think about the release clause, has got to be made up straight in.
It's got to be up front, hasn't it?
Yeah, which is only limited clubs can do that. And I don't know whether it's kind of a temporary contract to kind of just tie over for now, and then maybe if we do get Champions League again next season, offering another one. But I mean, no one wants to see him go.
Do you think there's a hint of it? I genuinely didn't. When I saw it, I was just naively, I was like, oh, buzzing. Bruno signed a new contract, brilliant. He's committed to the club. And usually I would be skeptical about things, but I've just not been that way since this regime's come into play. So I was just like, well, why would anyone really want to leave right now? We're literally at the beginning of it all.
I don't know whether there's just people are doubting for next season about the Champions League, and I mean, there's five spaces up for grabs this season to get into the Champions League, and I think we will do it again. I don't know whether just because we've had a bit of I wouldn't say a complete shaky start, but because we haven't had the kind of electric start that we had last season,
Mm-hmm.
some people have kind of got a bit nervous. But I don't think there's any need to worry. I think if he does truly love playing the football here, he'll want to stay, and they'll probably look at getting another deal done where that clause is taken out.
And I think we've got to be realistic. I mean, look at who we've had the toughest start to the Premier League season, this Premier League campaign, surely.
Oh well, 100%.
With AC
It
Milan to
was
contest with as well, by the way.
well, statistically, it was the hardest start to the season. So glad we've got the couple of, well, definitely in the league anyway. The couple of winnable ones coming up. But we just need to make sure we're taking those chances like we are now.
You think we'll see much of Sandro this half, if at all? I'm inclined to think he might be rested entirely if
Yeah,
there's an
if he
opportunity.
did,
I
if
say
we can
that
get
Sheffield
another
and
one,
Madrid.
or we don't concede or anything like it, there's no need for him to come on.
Yeah,
And if it gives Sean and Elliot Anderson a good run out as well, they'll may as well just keep them on and let them play. I mean, I think out of the whole team, I think engine wise, I think Sean Longstaff's probably got the best engine, so he'll comfortably play 90 if needed.
and who thought we'd be saying that after that really difficult knee injury he had to contest with and come back to a bitty season after that as well and just not playing his best football under what was a shambolic regime anyway. And now he's back. He's definitely back to that sort of valuation that Manchester United were looking at once sniffing about with 50 million, or whatever it was. I think he definitely looks good value at that price.
Yeah, I mean, the less said about that idiot, the better. Having a team in twice a week to train in the Premier League is absolutely disgraceful.
I just can't
It's
believe
just,
that ended up being true. You know, it was one of
yeah,
those things where
it's
you heard it and
ridiculous.
you heard it and you thought, oh, you
Like,
know,
surely not.
it's funny to listen to. Surely that's not happened. But then you think, oh, could it? And then when it actually come out, you're like, are you fucking serious?
Like,
Like,
and you wonder, well, like, with I quite like Wilson's podcast with Mikel Antonio because it gives you that kind of back backstory of what's going on behind the scenes in that game where we went 1-0 up against West Ham and then got beat. And Callum Wilson saying that, yeah, we were just absolutely blowing out our arses because we were nowhere near the fitness levels that you were at. It's just, it's a joke. Like, you should go into the first game of the season, you should be at the fittest you're possibly going to be that season. It's just, I just,
I'm so angry thinking about that.
yeah, I know. Like, I'm getting to the point where I'm tripping over me words because I'm getting that angry thinking about it. But like, I've got to think like we're not there anymore. Like,
Yeah.
we're playing Champions League football with like 10 times a better squad. We've kicked out the wrong uns, and we've just got like a great like family club thing about us again. It's just, I take like I'll do like have moments of reality where you've just got to kind of like pinch yourself sometimes. I think because we had so much years, like so much time of that dross to being where we are now. It's just it still feels surreal at times when it like clicks.
Yeah, massively so, and I think that also probably plays into a little bit of our own downfall sometimes, and which is why some of us, I mean, me included to a certain extent, until I got a hold of myself, was a little bit disappointed with our start to the season. But then you think, fucking hell, like look where we've come. Like we can't expect because it just got to a point, especially after last season, where I was like, wow, whoever we've got next week, other than Man City to a certain extent, but even then, I'm still thinking, wow, we could. You know,
Yeah.
everyone we played, I thought, well, yeah, we can beat them. We can beat them.
Well, I mean, can you remember that Wolves game, the last game before the 2-0? The feeling after that game was just
Mate, I was stood
I
outside.
was defeated. I was just I'd came to the kind of reality, right? That's it. We're going down again. And that's probably us not coming back up. Like,
Yeah.
it was horrible. That's the
Yeah.
worst I've ever felt as a football fan. That the feeling after that game was worse than the 2 relegations.
Me and Sam were talking after that game, and we were just like, I think we stood in the car park, and I was very much the same as you. I was like, we're going down. This is it, done again.
I think everyone was, to be honest, mate. It was just that there was no kind of hint that we were gonna survive. And I mean, would have given bloody Derby's record a good push. I think just that season, we weren't playing as a football team that weren't fit. We had a manager that couldn't care less and was just happy that he was getting a payday, in which should have been his final payday. Which is left to be said. I know he keeps saying that he's maybe got one more stint left in him. It's just he's an absolute joke.
He really is. He really is, mate.
How you can justify a Premier League team training twice a week is beyond me.
Good question from Shrey. Has Anderson scored a non-friendly goal yet? I can't think he has off the top of my head.
He should have against Forest last season.
Yeah,
But
that's a good point.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Protecting Bruno's value from Madrid come sniffing. He's worth double what we bought him for. Oh, 100%. But like, I don't think. Do I think Real Madrid are going to go and buy him after they've got someone like Jude Bellingham in there? Probably not.
But they've got, when you think about Bellingham, Real Madrid have got 4 very good young centre midfielders at the minute, which should sort them out for the next 10 years if none of them go. I mean, they've got Bellingham, who's in the form, I'd say, of his life, but I think there's a lot more to come from him. Valverde, also very good. Tchouaméni, Camavinga, like, they're sorted at the minute for midfielders, so it's not Real I'm worrying about. Barca have got no money. Juve have got no money. The only one I would maybe worry about is, because I know they're missing a midfielder, hence why they went for Paella on the deadline day, is Bayern, I think.
It's yeah. I mean, even then, have they got the cash up to go and lift
Do it up
100
front.
to 150 million up front? It's a lot of money, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just whether the only other one's obviously Liverpool in it, which I think I've seen a lot of people are worried about. But hopefully we can keep a hold of him. Obviously you've got the right to offer a kind of new contract if that release clause was to be met, and if Bruno's wanting to stay, then I don't think that would be an issue. Because why wouldn't you offer Bruno rather than going in the market paying over? Because people are going to say you've got 100 million there for a midfielder. Why would you want Bruno to go and have to pay for an overinflated player?
Well, that is a fantastic goal if that stands.
Get in.
Excellent goal. Yeah, just that was brilliant football from Newcastle. I'm sorry, mate. I've completely forgotten what you said. The last little bit. We'll go back over that.
It's the best way to forget about things.
4-0. Game over, isn't it? That's game over.
More.
I think 6-0 is easily a possibility here. And I don't even know if Trippier's meant that ball. If it was anyone else other than Trippier, I'd probably say they haven't. But puts it into an area. Callum Wilson's there. It's poor defending from Sheffield United again.
Fantastic, that. Get out.
He's absolutely on his own. Nobody's aware of where he is.
I need a Bruno shot on target. Gordon shot on target and 3 more corners, and I'm absolutely laughing.
4-0. Love it.
Gonna win the league.
I mean, it's like you said, we were always needed to judge ourselves after those, at least the first 3 or 4 games, because we were going to start to have a little bit of an easier run, and we're coming up against, these are the teams that we need to beat and beat comfortably, and we've done that inside of 60 minutes. To be fair, could be 5 here, could be 5.
Even the Brentford one, mate, was one that we didn't do it in the nicest of ways, but we got through it.
And Brentford, I look at bar their result yesterday against Everton. I look at Brentford as a very difficult side to beat. So I didn't expect anything more from that, to be honest. I always thought it was going to be quite a difficult game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know whether I got carried away myself after the result last season, but I thought when the way they played, you could see where they were missing Tony, and I think that result could have been a lot different had Tony been on the pitch. But when you can scrap,
Elliot Anderson's
wins,
in here. He's put it over. It could be 4. No, Sheffield United managed to clear. Back out to Trippier.
this could be 6 or 7. This,
Quite comfortably, couldn't it?
yeah. They're just calm, collected, everything, and just Chef look like they've absolutely lost their heads here.
Shreyas, is this an opportunity to try a different formation once we get to 65 minutes? Potentially.
I
I
thought I was going to say when we got to 6-0 there. But, um, I think we've got our shape, haven't we? We've played it since Eddie's been here, so I don't think we'll be looking to change anything. I know we did it to throw Villa off in the summer when we played that. I don't even know if we call it formation. It was just players playing all over the place when we played Villa in that summer series. But I think might see a bit rotation, but then again, it too comes off. I'd like to see Lewis Hall come on.
Yeah, I would, and I'd also like to see. I almost wanted Tino Livramento to start this week. To be honest, I thought it would have been
It'd be interesting to see who starts against City.
Man
Because obviously
City.
Trippier is getting on, whether we like it or not. Like he's going to need a rest at some point.
Yeah, and I think I've mentioned it in, I can't remember which video it was, but at some point, and I don't think it's this early, but at some point we're going to have to look at which competitions we're going to focus on, because realistically we're not going to be involved in all 4 of them towards the very end, are we? And if we are, again, which ones are you going to concentrate on? Because we do not have the squad to be able to make a push for all 4 without having a detriment on one of the others.
The league is top priority.
It's got to be. Is he offside? If he is offside,
he's onside.
He's offside.
But Miggy is though.
Yeah, Anthony Gordon. Expected him to finish that.
Why is he just standing there?
It's a great pass from Elliot Anderson out to Anthony Gordon. I think should have been an easy finish for Anthony Gordon.
Yeah, he should have put that in.
He'll be annoyed at himself having such a good game as well.
He deserves a goal, 100%.
He does.
He'll get one.
What were you saying, mate? Sorry.
It's a very good question.
What were we talking about? Completely forgot. Someone remind us in the chat. What were we talking about? Anthony Gordon out wide again, looking to beat his man. He cuts inside, hit that. It's an unbelievable goal from Anthony Gordon. It's 5. Anthony Gordon, you absolute fucking beauty. Get in there, son. Get in there.
Wow.
Mate, the kids
told you it was coming.
40 million.
Right, Bruno Guimaraes, get a shot on target now, please.
Oh, what a goal. Anthony Gordon, he's full of confidence. This could be 7, could be 8, could be 9, but for now, it's 5. Anthony Gordon involved in at least 3 of the goals now.
I'll tell you, one of my mates is an Evertonian, and he's just put in our group chat, he's fucking meant I hate it.
And this was the thing, the sensible Evertonians that weren't bitter about it all said that we were getting a good player. You know, the ones that weren't involved in getting on his case about everything. Yeah. Yeah, he's very...
That's a finish and a half, that, mind.
It is. Redknapp's talking about it. Carrigan talking about it being far too easy, but like that touch inside was really good. Really, really good. And because he's so quick and so dynamic, it just takes another 5 yards away from the player that's trying to match him.
I tell you what, mind, we've got history for beating teams from Sheffield by 8.
We have indeed. It'd only be right just to share the wealth.
The thing is, Eddie Howe might want to make this substitutions, so I don't think there'll be any of them will want to come off.
I think, you know what, and he might even be looking at it as though it's, you know, go out and put as many past them as you can so we can potentially make some changes. Get another couple of goals in the next 8 minutes.
Put Tino Livramento up top for all I care.
Yeah. I tell you what, we could be in again here. Oh, if Elliot Anderson saw that run. But again, Elliot Anderson, I think, has had a very bright start to this second half. Longstaff out wide to Trippier, gives it to Miggy. Trippier with the overlap, but Miggy decides to give it to Bruno. Bruno, again, I hate saying this, but for the last 3 games, some of his passes at the last stage of the pitch have been very lazy.
I mean, his turn made that move there. It's the little things he does. Like, there's sometimes I'll just solely watch what Bruno does with the ball, and it's just ridiculous. The little turns he makes to kind of
Create the
kickstart our
space.
attacks.
Yeah.
So much of it comes through him, and it's. I think whilst it kind of when you've got Tonali coming in, and I know it can be easy to get carried away with him being the sole focus of the midfield because he's like a
Oh
whole
my
monster
God.
outside
Is it
the
a
midfield.
penalty? Surely. Oh, I tell you what though, Anthony Gordon's limping
Yeah.
off. But that it makes Elliot Anderson. Oh, we go back to what you were talking about Anthony Gordon's strength. He's about 2 yards behind the fullback there. He's put the ball past him, kept up with him, and then muscled him off the ball. And for such a slender lad, he really does look strong, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's hobbling at the moment, which is worrying.
I tell you what the thing is though, he's bony as well, and I
Yeah,
know from experience. One of my best mates
they're
when we
the
were in school,
fucking
he
worst
used
players to play
he used
against,
to play
mate.
full back, and I was a winger.
All
Playing against him
elbows.
was horrible. All elbow, but it feels like you're being stabbed. It's horrible. That's probably what it feels like playing against Gordon.
Yeah, there's a lad, very exactly the same. Lee Baker, I grew up with. He ended up at West Brom for a long, long time, but he was exactly the same. Exactly the same. As soon as you described that, then I was like, yeah, I know someone exactly like that. A little bit sloppy from Elliot Anderson there. Sheffield United on the break, but he's got nothing with him. Great tracking back from Elliot Anderson. Great challenge. Sheffield United throw out on the right hand side.
He's gonna have one hell of a breakout season this year, Elliot Anderson.
I hope so. I really do.
It was there was a long discussion about where he actually plays for a little bit, especially after that kind of the Bristol Rovers low move, which I think when he went there, he was a level above playing there, and obviously shone while he was there. But I think this season he's just going to show what he's truly about. And I mean, we saw a little glimpse of it last season, but he's built like a proper centre mid, and he looks like he'll fit in like a doddle really.
Yeah.
This season, it's just that
Oh,
extra bit of cover. We went from having no cover at all to by signing one midfielder, having a really complete midfield.
it's mad. And like I know we talk about Joe Willock, and for me, he's obviously not going to go straight back into the starting 11, but to have him on the bench with the likes of Elliot Anderson, and then you've got Sean Longstaff, Joe Linton, Tonali, Bruno, like Joe Linton. What is that? That surely you're looking at one of the strongest midfields in the Premier League. There, one of
Oh,
them.
exactly. I'd be honest. I'd be surprised if it takes Willock long to get back into the starting 11. I think Eddie really likes that rotation between Joe Linton and
And
Willock. I think he likes having that between on the
it
left side
works so
between
well,
the.
doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it throws defenders off, even though the we know we're gonna play it. You've just got that different dynamic coming at you all the time. Joe Linton just barges his way through, and then Willock's got that bit of trickery about him to get himself through. So I think that's what he's trying to replicate with Barnes and Anderson, because obviously Anderson's got that ability to play on the left hand side as well, and Barnes has got the stature to cover if he needs to on that left hand side. So I think he quite likes playing a pivot on that left hand side. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Anthony Gordon starting on the right and Joe Linton and Willock coming back in.
Yeah. Elliot Anderson on the ball, giving it back to Sean Longstaff, who gives it to Bruno. Straight back to Ben Botman as Newcastle just take a breather, basically. Botman looking for a lovely pass through to Miggy, who gives it back to Bruno. Bruno with a through pass to Miggy. It's six. It's six. What a well-worked team goal that was. Sheffield United have absolutely lost their heads. If you're right, if ever I've seen a team this early in the season, well, I thought they would compete, or at least were playing good football. If ever I've changed my mind about a team and think they're going to get relegated, it's today.
These are honking. Like, these are stinking the gaff out. They're awful. They don't look like a championship side at the minute, let alone a good one.
I don't know what to say here, because obviously we've been brilliant on the ball. We have Anthony Gordon lifted the whole side, but Sheffield United have been absolutely terrible. Like, it's not an amazing pass from Bruno. It's a very simple pass to play when you've got a huge gap between 3 players. You've got to be
He's
defending
gone.
that.
Bearing in mind these play 5 at the back. They've got 3
You've
centre
got to be
halves on at the
defending.
minute.
We're playing. We're in 3rd gear still,
Oh, can you imagine if we were full strength?
mate. This is a joke.
This could be. I think we've still got a few in us here.
I think
We're
there
all
could
falling
be
out with each
9.
other.
This could be 9.
Oh my god. Oh,
Isak.
don't take.
That is
Oh, he's
disgusting.
gonna-
Eddie
he's gonna
Howe is
take
bringing
Bruno
on
for the-
Livramento, Sandro Tonali, and Isak.
Wait, Miggy off. Trippier.
I'm okay with this.
Not Bruno for my bet, please.
Wilson.
Isak needs a goal. I think that's why he's bringing him on.
So he's bringing Isak on up top. So hold on, who Miggy's come on off for Tonali? Ooh. So is he putting Elliot Anderson out wide?
Anderson up top. Aye, and Gordon. Gordon will go on the right. I think. I did notice mine against
Yeah, you're right.
Milan towards the end. We were playing 4-4-2 against Milan in the last 10 minutes.
They said in the chat, there is an opportunity for us to play with a different formation here. And when you're 6-0 up, it doesn't really matter, does it? Because even if Sheffield United get a couple of goals and the formation doesn't work, you've allowed yourself opportunity to see that it doesn't work.
Do you think they will?
I very, very much doubt it.
Go on, double digits.
But because, can you imagine? Do you think Eddie Howe would allow that to happen? He's in. He's got to finish that.
How far ended up in front of you?
I've no idea. How far in front are you?
I'm on 70-15 by about 2 seconds, I think.
Okay, cool. He's got to do better. He's got to do better. Don't clap that. Shit. Don't clap that.
We've had an attempted goal.
To be fair though, there were times I felt
Well,
like
this
that
was
at
us.
AC Milan in the first half, but no, even before. Yeah, you're right. Before then, Jesus Christ, in the Championship and going down to the Championship. Fucking hell.
Tell you who these need.
Mate, what is going on?
Marlon Harewood will sort these out.
Elliot Anderson's looking like Ronaldinho. Well,
Surely Lewis Hall has got to make an appearance if he's fit now.
you'd have thought so. You'd have thought so. And I think Dan Burn needs the rest as well.
Yeah.
When you're playing, we've got Man City coming up, haven't we? And like we said, PSG the week after, a Premier League fixture in between that. Like, surely you've got to bring Hall on.
Do you think that was Eddie flexing his squad a little bit there?
Mate, do you know what? Looking at that, when it panned over, I was like, Jesus Christ! Like, I got a little bit horny. You don't expect it though, do you? It's just not something that we're used to. You're bringing on Sandro Tonali and Alexander Isak. Never mind Livramento, who's a great talent at his age, but those 2 players alone, this is disgusting.
Oh.
Just dicking about now, aren't we? 6-0.
Boys taking the piss.
Good challenge.
We're back to being class at football again. This is great.
We are fucking class.
But it's great to see the local lads in there when we're playing well as well.
It is, and that was what was so.
I'm sorry, I've got me Twitter notifications on. Corners, please. I need corners.
Isak breaks away. Surely he's not just scored from there. Oh, that's a disgusting. This is pathetic. This is pathetic. I don't even want to celebrate this. I feel sorry for them. This is pathetic.
We've got Bruno in the middle.
He knows exactly what we need.
Oh, he's got a second burn on the way, hasn't he?
Go on, lad. Absolutely love him. I really hope there's no truth in what people think in terms of him looking for a way out or an opportunity for a way out. I want it to be the fact that I thought he wants to stay for the next 5 years.
Honestly, my mate Kez, he's just like, he's just funny. He's just put, are we gonna stop this? Like, because this is just nasty.
But that was my point. Is like Eddie Howe. Until the documentary come out, I didn't realize how ruthless behind the scenes he was.
Oh, I didn't at all.
And I look at this and I'm like, he wants us to put fucking 10 past him. Is that my brother in the front row?
Your brother's getting boat everywhere at the minute.
I actually think that's my brother in the front row. It was the other goal, and I thought that might be Chris, but I'm sure that's him.
I don't know how well you'll be able to see that, but
can't
I am
see
praying
it.
for. I just need. It's not even our corners. I need 3 match corners for 140 quid. And I tell you where I'll be going.
China
My
White.
nearest Green King pub, because there's over 900 of them.
Oh wow, this is ridiculous. I think it might actually be my brother.
Call him. I hope you know I am celebrating corners now.
Of course. Yes, that is definitely my brother. I've just sent me a picture of where he's sat. You're right. He has been getting everywhere. TNT in Milan. Newcastle fans TV on the video today. I thought didn't even know he was going down in the car anyway.
Ooh.
Kind of throat punched him, didn't they?
Yeah. Did you see the Rodri one yesterday?
No, Matt, I had such a busy day yesterday because I ended up going to the Misfits card last night.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Covering that, which was really, you know what, considering it was actually really enjoyable.
It was decent. Yeah, I watched it last night. That's arguably been, I mean, not the best in terms of the names, but in terms of the actual fights was decent.
And being backstage, because obviously I cover all the traditional boxing stuff. It's a little bit different. Like everyone's a bit it's a bit cliquey, and I kind of expected it to be that way because obviously a lot of these lads are multi-millionaires at silly ages. You know, was it that Mr. Uruguay that's got like 6 million subscribers or whatever it is, who got absolutely obliterated by Arms Corleone, who's the biggest man I've ever seen in my whole life.
He's ridiculous,
mate. I was stood there
that man,
interviewing him. I was like, "You are fucking huge. You are
that
huge.
man's breasts are ridiculous,
mate." Such a nice guy. But anyway, like everyone was just unbelievably down to earth.
Yeah,
unbelievably down to earth. I mean, don't clip this up, but we did have El Brook walking around, grabbing everyone's cock before they were going out for fights, being bent over and being spanked backstage. Those videos haven't surfaced online yet, but I'm sure at some point they will do. So El Brook had a little bit too much to drink last night, but she was good fun. And these people just the complete opposite as to what I expected them to be. I thought everyone was going to be a little bit up their own asses, and they weren't.
Yeah, I mean, I was thrown off by Gabe Anderson. I thought with him, like, oh, my dad's this and that. Like, he could quite easily have been, but he seems canny's out.
I spoke to him last night, did an interview with him. Really nice kid, like really, really nice kid. And to be honest, I don't think he likes talking about his dad. He wants to create his own. Obviously, wants to create his own sort of legacy, but
which is good.
Really
like,
nice
I think there's some athletes that'll happily live under the dad's name, but I mean, especially in the fight game, like with how big, Spider was. It's just interesting to see if that's the space he wants to keep within.
Well, he said he does. So he said he's happy to commit to Misfits, or at least he wants to at some point get into professional boxing, because he was kickboxing from a young age and doing Muay Thai, and MMA, but just doesn't want to compete in that space, which is fair enough. He's just said he's always been a huge fan of boxing, so nice kid, really nice kid.
Did he catch the Joe Joyce fight?
No, I was driving back because I got back about 1 o'clock in the morning, but a couple of the lads, because one of our other lads was covering it, and he sent me a voice note, and I just couldn't believe it happened in the third round. Like,
Yeah, he just
and to
looked
the extent
stiff
it
and
did.
like lethargic. Like that, Zhang's got so much power behind him as well.
Just a huge man.
But he's absolutely. But he's like his head's massive as well.
Yeah. Did
Just
you
like
ever
in
see?
boxing.
Yeah, you definitely. I think you're old enough. Nikolai Valuev that fought David Hay. Did you? You might not. He was basically a similar stature size, but he just couldn't box. He was just a huge fucking like sort of zombie-esque, just massive fridge. Couldn't move, but Zhang can actually box.
Yeah, he's ridiculous.
Arguably beat Hrgovic. I don't think it was fair that he didn't get the result in the Hrgovic fight, which again puts Hrgovic's stock up. And honestly, I know people.
Corner! Sorry.
But
I told you.
we'll go
This
back
last
to
10
football in
minutes.
a second. But I think he beats Fury. I'm going to say it. I think Zhang beats Fury.
Can you imagine if Agonu does?
Right.
Just drops him. But he's so funny.
I honestly think I've watched the Fury stuff.
Oh,
I just think he's not in a very
Sorry.
good space.
Here he is. He actually is at Newcastle United. He is a Newcastle United player. Here
Go on,
is
the boy.
Lewis Hall.
Go on, the boy.
Ooh, corner!
Oh,
Corner!
how many do you need?
One more
Oh, you're going to get that.
from either side.
You're going to get that. The three promoted teams are all going down.
I need
There's
two.
John Malman still waiting to see some Hall. Here he comes. Wayne Rogerson says, "Come on, man. Yes, love that you're running about. So we need you running about more on camera, Andrew. Take your strap off."
Oh, sure, that's not on the plan. We're trying to win corners.
I don't
Two
like
more.
odd numbers, so we need to at least score one more.
Yeah, I hate having 7 corners, so we at least need 9. In the match, that is like I'm gonna celebrate if Sheffield United get one. Sean, you're playing.
Giving a cryptic note.
You're playing mint. Keep it up.
In the chat, let us know what you think was on that note. I think that's a good one. What was on the note to Sean Longstaff there as Bruno is substituted for Lewis Hall?
Well, this was the interesting thing was, I think everyone thinks we've signed another left back, but Lewis Hall, he came up through the academy at Chelsea playing as a centre mid, so it'll be interesting to see where he's going to fit in here. Because he has joined at the minute he's joined that left side of the midfield.
Yeah. Interesting. I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, he came up through a centre mid and he only started playing left back at Chelsea because I think Cucurella and Chilwell were both out for.
Yeah. Sheffield United.
One force a save. Tom Davies is not a professional footballer. No one can convince us that he is. Tom Davies looks like Andy Carroll if Andy Carroll had a midlife crisis. and got blonde highlights.
Love it. Love it.
But he's even went for that, the Sunday League centre mid where they wear an older pair of black Adidas Predators to make them look slightly better.
Yeah. Yeah, that's something I do.
He just looks like someone's tried to 3D print Jeff Hendrick and it's went horribly wrong.
Love that. Oh, 7-0 on a Sunday. Tell you what, if I were drunk, I'd be steaming right now.
I'm behaving.
How many have you had?
I've had a couple. This is only my third.
Oh. It's pretty
This is
pedestrian.
my little bit of holiday though. This, have I mentioned I miss Spain yet or not?
No,
definitely have.
you actually haven't, to be fair. Do you miss Spain?
I tell you what, mate. The week we went away, the missus couldn't have planned it any better. There was no football apart from international break, which I couldn't care less about. There was no Formula 1. It was great.
Just able to switch off and not worry about anything.
Oh, I mean, had the Milan game been while I was away, yes, it'll have been up a height and buzzing about it, but it'll have been an absolute nervous wreck, and you don't need that while you're on holiday.
Do you know what, mate? Like, I thought I was going to be okay, and I just woke up on the Tuesday morning, and I was just like, I feel very nervous today.
Yeah, I was an absolute like. I've never felt like a mixed bunch of
Yeah.
emotions like it. Just, like excited, happy, nervous. Like I was just, and then when the theme hit, I mean, I'm praying to God I get a ticket for the PSG game because I mean I was nearly in tears when me and Sam did the watch along. It just hearing it on the telly.
Yeah, it
But
was.
it just
My missus said I could have gone, but like it was one of those where if I'm breaking mid-holiday to go over to Milan and then come back, like I just it wouldn't have gone down very well. But like I haven't, but I was very, very envious of everyone over there, just because obviously getting a ticket luckily wouldn't have been an issue for me. But I don't know, it was. I was mad. It was like you said, emotions were just all over the shop. I just remember sitting down in the pub and I'm just absolutely shitting myself. I was like, what's going
I
on?
mean, me and Sam were sat here. I mean, I was like, honestly, when that theme hit, I was like, I probably did have like one like rolled down my eye. It was just emotional seeing like the likes of Jacob Murphy
Yeah,
and Sean Longstaff and Dan Byrne. You know, like these lads that have grown up like supporting the club, been through the worst of it to see that it was just. And just Jacob Murphy's smile made it all for me. Like
yeah, that
it
was
just
class.
teed it up as a Newcastle fan. Like how happy we are to be back in the big time, which is where ultimately we should always have been.
It was just like little things. I was just like, I was sat down. I was like, the last time that I watched us in this, I was 13, like 13,
I'll not say
and
how
that
old
still
I was.
seems like
I'll not
yesterday.
make you feel old.
I think well, you were probably about 6 or 7, weren't you? Something like that.
No, when was the last time? 2002. I was
Yeah.
only 5. In this kid, in this kid, I need to invest. I need to invest and get the patches put on this one. I've got a few Newcastle shirts that I need taken care of. I know if there's any Newcastle kit collectors that are watching, my Northern Rock ones all need repairing.
Yeah, to be fair, I need the long sleeve Northern Rock one, black and white one with the collar, the Shearer one. I need
Yeah,
that. I need the sponsor on that repairing, and the long. I had the third kit, the blue one in long sleeve as well. I think there's a couple of bits that need repairing on that as well. To be fair, but I might sell that.
they're just in here to me. Like, so I've got that gold third one that needs repairing,
Yeah,
and the away one from the same season, that like two-tone navy one. Oh, here we go.
surely.
Isaac, 8-0.
This is absolutely insane. Alexander
Hey,
Isak,
club
cool,
record. As long as they
8-0.
don't, Carl, I did tell you there's something about us putting it past the team from
How is
new
it?
club record. As long as we don't concede, this is our best ever Premier League result.
This is ridiculous. I don't know what. Oh mate, I can't wait to watch this back and listen to it.
Right, this is all fun and games, but can we seriously just get 2 more corners in the game, please?
Do you still need 2 more?
Yeah, it's over 8, so I need 9. It's on 7 at the
Eight
minute.
nil.
Hey, for the ones that are staying down in Sheffield, that's gonna be some night out the night, isn't it?
So it's definitely my brother. I've just seen him again on the replay.
Get in.
He's put his black night jacket on. Mate, he's next to Johnny. How is it? He's everywhere. He's annoying me a little bit. Get off my screen. 8-0. Can we make it 10?
Hey, there's time yet. I don't think there'll be much added on time. Like
The ref's got it. Got it.
he's walking on thin ice. Heck, bottom and like bless him. There's not much he can do with that squad, but they need to change something. Oh, well, there's a record that's just been pointed out. Eight goals, 8 different scorers.
Is it?
That's mad.
Oh my God, he's in. Oh my God, is it 9? Oh, you fucking virgin.
Ooh. Class from Dan, but well in Dan Burnt.
This is mental.
Go on, lads.
Absolutely mental.
Unreal. At the 80th minute, 8-0 up, and they're still committing to that press.
Oh, look at that girl, bless her. Just take her home. She's got school tomorrow as well.
Nah, it's not funny. It's not funny. I've got school. Oh, go on then. I'll have another.
Go on, man.
Oh, go on then.
8-0. There's not much to say, really, is there? We've absolutely blown them away. And there was me thinking this was going to... I had Newcastle to win 2-1 in a difficult contest.
Someone will have an accumulator on with over 7.5 goals.
This is nuts, man.
I tell you what, mate, but every time we'll look like we're getting behind them. Isaac was away there if Shaw had played it.
Well, it's a statement and a half, isn't it?
I'm not going to get me corners, am I?
Well, I think it's safe to say that the upcoming content from Lee, Johnny, my brother will probably bang, to be fair, because everybody's going to be wanting to watch Newcastle content tonight after we've just smashed Sheffield United. At the very least, 8-0. It still could be 9 because there's 6 minutes of stoppage time. 6 minutes of stoppage time.
Corners, please. I'm not asked about goals now.
I can't believe you've not had these 2 corners. Oh, that is poor. I even want this to stop now.
I can't bend my head around that. 8 different scorers is ridiculous.
Can you imagine if somebody had that as a bet?
Oh, you'd be kicking yourself though, wouldn't you? You'd be kicking yourself if you hadn't scored.
Yeah. Who hasn't scored?
Trippier. Elliot Henderson. Obviously Pope. Shaw.
This is ridiculous.
Fair play to the Sheffield United fans that are staying till the end.
100%. 100%. Oh, that is a great ball as well. Just a not very good touch from... Who was that then? Gordon or Myler?
Yeah,
Gordon.
It's a shame, that Lewis Smiley played for the Youngins yesterday because he did 100% it came on. It's going to be interesting how they manage Lewis Smiley, especially with Willock and Joe Linton coming back.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how they manage his game time in the senior squad, and then whether or not they're going to look at loan him out in the second half of the season, maybe. So obviously he was on the bench for Milan.
Yeah, I saw again. What a feeling that must have been.
Yeah, we're on the
Being
tops
involved. Go on, the boys. 8-0. I just want one more. I know I said I don't like odd numbers, but I'll take 9.
Just to do the record.
Yeah.
Joe in our chats just said someone defo give Gordon a Red Bull before this match. Just
Probably more like a gram.
He's just got bad. Like he's just relentless, isn't he?
He's been absolutely excellent. Like
exactly the player we needed. Mind, if there was any winger we needed to fit our system, it was Anthony Gordon.
Yeah. Go on, get one more.
Win a corner. Tonali's just been cool since he's been on.
Yeah,
Lad,
he's-
just clean the ball back up. Lads, it's 8-0. You don't need to pass around the back like you're 2-1 up in foot champs in the 90th minute. Please just knock this forward and win some corners.
please.
Oh,
Don't let us concede.
it's interesting that Lewis Hall's made his first appearance in centre mid because he could have 100% came on and played left back. Here we go. We're on the break. It's a free kick. Right, Carl. My prediction is this is going to go out for a corner. Corner's going to come in and then we're going to win another corner.
I certainly hope so.
And if we do, I'll see this off. I tell you what, it's a tough one to give player of the match. I think it's got to be Anthony Gordon, but it's not a decision I'd like to be making. Get out. Shaw's just absolutely bodied him. You know what the scary thing about is Anthony Gordon, though? It's every game he's looking better and better.
Yeah, he is. He is, and he's still, what is he, 23?
It's just like putting that one in today is only going to give him more and more confidence. And bless him, Harvey Barnes must be thinking, Christ, I'm not going to get a look in here. Oh, just hit it off him, man. Win a corner. Win a...
Well, I think it's safe to say that we've won this one.
What's the ref doing wasting time? We've needed this, mind.
We have.
This is a reminder of just how good we are.
And it's coming at the right time when you've got such a huge game or a huge test with Manchester City on Wednesday as well. Going into that at home, full of confidence, you couldn't have asked for a better performance, you know?
You can't ask for more than 8-0, can you?
No.
It just...
Unless 9 corners.
What? How's Longstaff accidentally even just carried that forward? There we go, 8-0.
That's it. Newcastle United finished 8-0 winners against Sheffield United at Bramall Lane. What a result. 8 different goal scorers. Yes, 8 different goal scorers. I believe that's a Premier League record that's just been set. And Newcastle United's new record or matched record, is it? Or
If I'm not wrong, which knowing me, I probably am. I want to say that record was previously held by Chelsea.
okay.
Probably I'm wrong, but it's just, I knew we were gonna win, but bloody hell!
I know. That's absolutely. If you're
we had to
still
kick
in
a
the
team
chat,
while they're down, lads. Jesus.
yeah, like I said, I put a prediction video out yesterday. I've just said this to Andrew, and you'll have heard it if you're in the chat. But if you're just coming in, because obviously we'll have an influx of people after sticking 8 past Sheffield United. I thought it was going to be a tough game, and Newcastle were going to potentially beat Sheffield United by 2-1. Andrew was a little bit more optimistic, but still, none of us thought that we were going to run out like this. 8 different goal scorers, 8-0. I think we might have just broken back into the top 10, or it's very close. We probably should have based on goal difference, I think. We have Manchester City on Wednesday. This is a huge confidence boost for us, exactly what we needed. Anthony Gordon comes on in difficult circumstances with Harvey Barnes going off injured. Anthony Gordon was unbelievable today. Unbelievable. I think that performance would probably eclipse anyone across all of the European leagues this weekend. I don't think anyone would have played better than Anthony Gordon this weekend.
Well,
Yeah, what was you going to say, mate?
Just to jump in, we're now up to 8th, but goal difference wise, there is only Man City, Liverpool, and Brighton better than us at the minute, which is the top three. We're now on a goal difference of 9
That's I don't even know what
from
to say.
one game. Like,
Like,
I just can't believe. I mean, if you'd shown me that result had been 8-0 on paper, I'd have probably said, right, well, Callum Wilson started, he's got a hat trick. Maybe like Gordon getting a couple. The fact we've had 8 separate goal scorers, but season's gone. We've not had 3 players being able to put the ball in the back of the net. Never mind bloody 8 in one game. It's just
ridiculous.
it's a testament to how far we've come, and these are the teams we should be turning over, and we're slowly but surely are. And if I was Vincent Company now, looking at this, knowing they've got to come up to St James's Park next, you can't get the white flag out now. You're gonna need it. War flags and probably lend them the one.
100%. Just a quick one to Wayne, who's stuck with us throughout. I would really appreciate that, because I've seen the numbers that Toon Review have done today, and that's absolutely amazing. Fair play to them. Got no issue congratulating other channels. Nearly 2,500 viewers they've had today, live viewers,
mad.
which is
That is
mental.
mad.
And usually we would piggyback off the back of that, and I'm going to say it's my own fault for starting late today and fucking the whole stream up.
But
But
next
thank you
one.
very much, Wayne. Yeah, we'll be back in the junction as usual. Usual numbers. But you know what? It doesn't matter today. I've had fun. It's been good speaking to Andy, and we've just smashed Sheffield United 8-0. Smashed them
8-0.
8-0. Let us know in the chat. Do any of you think anyone played better than Anthony Gordon? I hope that's a no.
I think Anthony Gordon's 100% the man of the match here. He's just absolutely ridiculous. But like, look at them now. Like the full time scenes here. They love it. They all love it. They all like. I've never seen a team in my lifetime where all of them love playing for this club, and it's hard not to get carried away with it. Like I'm brimming like cheek to cheek smile. Like it's just absolutely ridiculous how much these lads love playing for this football club, and long let it live. In it's testament to the team in the background, Eddie Howe, about the characters that we signed with. I know from kind of stories from the background that Eddie Howe's kind of ethos is we don't sign dickheads,
Yeah,
which I think he's
100%.
done very well in getting the ones out that were that had been problems, and just bringing in these top class players who've got the right attitude, and just like Callum Wilson testing him, he's a proper number 9, but he knows his place. He knows when he's in and out of the lineup. Yes, he probably wants to start every game, but he knows his place in the squad. So does everyone else. Like, it's just this team is going to go places. It's just going to take that little bit of time. And I think we will get Champions League again next season. Yes, we'll have the slower start because of the teams we were playing, but there's 5 places for the Champions League up to grabs. But I don't think that's going to be a problem at So I think we will get a top 4 finish again. I just think we've got them. We've had our injury problems are going to come and be out the way when Joe Linton and Willock come back. They come back, and we're just going to be at full strength. And we're a better side than Man United. We're a better side than Chelsea. Bearing in mind they've spent over $1 billion. We're a better side than Tottenham, even though there's this whole buzz over Big Ange at the minute. I'm still convinced we're better than Liverpool. We were unlucky in that game. Had the right decisions been made, we would have beat them.
It's not even that. We've
There's
beaten
only
ourselves.
Arsenal and Man City are looking that league, look in this league and think, right, they're the ones that are the ones we're maybe not up to yet. But the rest of them, there's no one in this league we should be fearing or looking over our shoulder at. I think if we catch form, we should realistically be finishing third, I think, once everyone's back.
And not, just looking at the Premier League table there, prior to this game, like I said, Sheffield United, although, we you tipped them to go down prior to this game, I was a little bit more complimentary of them. They were still pretty resolute at the back because they'd not scored many goals, but they'd only they were only the goal difference was only -4. I think they've only conceded something like 5 or 6 goals prior to today. So that again is proof in itself that it just emphasises the difference in class, and I do agree with you. With regards to the Liverpool fixture, I think we beat ourselves, and any Liverpool fan that thinks that we didn't play them off the park, because we absolutely did. We did literally for 80 minutes, blasted them off the park. It wasn't even a tie. We were far better than them, and Darwin Núñez did what Darwin Núñez does at St James's Park, and unfortunately we shot ourselves in the foot. But I do agree with you. I, I still think that we're a better side than they are over the last 18 months. I only fear Man City. Arsenal are still we're not
I think
there, but we're competitive with
Arsenal
them.
very much depends on the day, but they are a good side. And the thing about Arsenal is they're building up to be at the Man City level with kind of they've got youth on their side, which in the main point we do really. But it's just when you look at the player names we've got in this squad now, and yes, we've only signed what Livramento, Tonali, Hall, and there's definitely one missing that I've drawn a blank on, but like it's even we've got Minter to come in next season, who's
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely killing things in the Eredivisie. Gran Koal's knocking them in as well,
Oh yeah, yeah.
getting full starts now. They've got both getting. I mean, Koal after the Hearts one, I think there was doubts there because he wasn't getting the game time that we maybe thought he was, but think on that loan move was maybe just to get him used to the UK lifestyle after coming from the other side of the world. And then Minter just looks like he's going to be absolutely ace, and I think he's going to be our right winger. I think coming in,
I
he's
think
getting started. Well, he started against Celtic in the Champions League, which is enough to say about the regime we've got put in
yeah.
place. I think
And
we're going places, and we're going places a lot quicker than people would have expected. People being us and fans from the outside.
and not only that, we've touched upon it throughout the game, but we've got Joe Willock and Joe Linton to come back.
I'm so excited to see them two back. You know, Willock is an exciting player. Sorry, he's just he can change the game on the dime. Your first time finish and that finish against Chelsea last season that won us the game was absolutely fantastic. He's one of the best first time finishers I've seen. That might be stretching it, but he's just he looks like bollocks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's got bags of potential, and we've seen him have a couple of good seasons for us, and I still think he's the best yet to come. And I mean, in it, last season, while it was going, he was doing better numbers than Bellingham or Nearan. Nearan, I think he was the
No,
closest English
it was
midfielder to
better.
Bellingham last season.
I think it was better. He was better, or if not, he was far better than Grealish over the last couple of seasons, which everyone was tipping Grealish to obviously have big
And I mean,
numbers.
if anything's to go off that goal for that ball for Isak's goal against Spurs, you show that to any of the best midfielders in the world, and they'll go, how's he done that?
Yeah,
To Trevella it the way he did, he just was ridiculous, and I think it was unfortunate that he got injured at the time that he did because I think he was hitting that spell of form that yes he wasn't getting the goals that he did when we had him on loan, but he was hitting that run of form where he was just absolutely killing it. So I can't wait to have him back and just nurture him back in, and then get him in the starting 11 because he deserves to be there. Like, cause he's an absolutely incredible footballer.
I just want to put this into context a little bit as well. So Sheffield United lost 1-0 to Crystal Palace at home, and which a game that they didn't deserve to lose, in my opinion. 2-1 away at Forest. So again, another difficult game. Put up a very, very good performance against Man City, and Man City just beat them 2-1. We just put 8 past them. 3 weeks later, 8.
Have we mentioned that there was 8 different goal scorers as
Different
well?
goal
Like,
scorers.
just
Tottenham
that's
only put 2
ridiculous.
past them last week, and Sheffield United had a man sent off. We just put 8 past them.
PSG who?
It's one of those things. It's like people are like, oh, don't get carried away. You've only played Sheffield United, but at the end of the day, we know they're definitely going to be probably relegation fodder after today. It's going to be a real difficult. There's loads of football to play, but performances like that are difficult to come back from when you're already being tipped to be in and around the relegation zone. But what it does for us is proves that we are a very good side. And as we already know, we've had the most difficult start to the Premier League campaign. These lesser teams are starting to come around, or the games that the more winnable games are starting to come around. And what a way to re-establish ourselves as contenders within this league, or at least a team to watch. And like you said, definitely better than Chelsea. Villa have just beaten Chelsea today, and I hope Chelsea have had a man sent off. But either way, Aston Villa have gone and beat them. And to be honest, I don't care what anybody says. Aston Villa aren't the team that we all thought they were going to be this season. They're not. They've proven
No.
that they've struggled against the lesser teams. And
Well,
Chelsea, like you said, have spent $1 billion, but they're one of the lesser teams.
well, look at Villa. They struggled on Thursday night. They got beat.
Yeah, that
We
was
turned them over.
horrific.
I'm not sold on them. I've never been sold on Emery. I know he had that good campaign with Villarreal. I mean, he was there longer than he should have been at Arsenal. And
Yeah.
I think they were a disaster waiting to happen. And I mean, as far as Chelsea goes, they could end up not being a club in a couple of years if they keep on going with that spending and honking the league, not getting the European football, which is balancing out the
It's
revenue.
not
They could.
financially viable.
He's dragging them into being an absolute disaster waiting to happen,
If
and
I
it's
was a
gonna happen.
Chelsea fan, I would be shitting myself. I would be
Yeah,
absolutely shitting myself. Genuinely, and that's not even being banned. I would be genuinely worried about what's going on at the club. Because it's all right thinking, oh, we'll just spend more money. We've got all this money. Not in the next 2 seasons. If you don't pull yourselves out this season or next season, they're fucked. They are genuinely like the only thing that will obviously stop anything from happening is the fact that they are classed as one of the big six, kind of super club, aren't they? But
yeah.
they were nothing before Roman Abramovich came. So there is a very, very big chance that Todd Bowley actually runs that club into the ground. And if I was a Chelsea fan, I'd be genuinely worried.
I'd honestly be terrified because it's coming.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a chance of when. I think it's gonna happen. They don't look at your team, and then it's just they were a disaster. That's not waiting to happen is going to happen at some point.
Yeah.
It's whether that be at the end of the season when they've not qualified for Europe again because the way they're going, they're not going. It's not going to happen. They're a team we should be looking to take 6 points from this season, and I think we're thoroughly could if Villa can go down there and beat them. We should. There's no excuse why we can't.
100% agree. And the thing is, as well, I think looking at the start of the season, there's only one performance that I was disappointed in, and that was the Brighton one. That was the
Yeah,
only one I was
yeah.
disappointed with. I wasn't.
Brighton was disappointing.
Obviously,
That was
the
hard to
Liverpool
watch.
one, it was gutting, but it was a flash, and it was a flash. You know, like on the whole, we were absolutely excellent. We've let it get it, and it was gutting. But in terms of an out and out performance, the only one I was really disappointed with was the Brighton one, and other than that, we've made an excellent account of ourselves again.
Yeah, because I mean, even the City one didn't look terrible. I
No,
mean, there's not many teams can go at the Etihad and only get beat 1-0. It's just I don't know. I think we've getting the couple of dodgy ones out of the way and moving forward now. I think we're getting into a really good spell of form in the league, and then like you say, the Champions League. It'll be interesting to see what happens with City in the cup. I don't think the League Cup's going to be a main focus again this season. I think maybe see where we're at in January in terms of if we're getting through the group stage or not in the Champions League. See where we're at. Go for the FA Cup, and then kick on. I think we can easily finish top five. We're still within the top five best teams in this league, comfortably.
yeah.
So I
I
think
just
we'll see us playing Champions League football again next year as well.
I'll just run through the comments because obviously the viewers are coming in after watching the game, which is great. Rizwan says, I think this will be the biggest score of the season. And then Shrey says, who starts on Wednesday? Today is the first of 5 games in 15 days. And this is where it's really going to start being interesting in terms of how we rotate the squad. Because like we said, we've got Manchester City. Who have we got on the weekend? It's
Burnley at home.
Burnley at home, then PSG. And then is it West Ham away on the Saturday?
The 8th of October, we've got West Ham.
Yeah. So huge games coming up, and how we work the squad around will be very interesting. My predicted lineup for Man City, because and like I said, at some point, Eddie Howe's going to have to look at it and think, right, which competitions can we realistically focus on? I think the Carabao Cup will be one. We'll obviously do what we can in the Champions League, but I don't think anyone's expecting us to go the distance. You've got to manage expectations because we do have only so much strength and depth, and it's great seeing Sandro Tonali and Isak coming on against Sheffield United, but are we going to be able to do that later on down the line? So I think Pope starts in goal. I think it would be... we spoke. Botman needs a rest, but I don't think he does. I think we go pretty full strength on Wednesday, to be honest. So I think it will be Botman, Shaw. I think Burn and Trippier start again. I think it will be Tonali, Bruno, and depending on whether Joe Linton's back, maybe Joe Linton, but Sean Longstaff. Although I'm not sure that midfield three is working yet, and then probably Gordon. My battery's just gone, so I do apologise, but I am still here. Yeah, Gordon, Isak, and probably Miggy that start, depending on how Harvey Barnes is feeling. But yeah, it was a huge win, and I think I'm gonna have to leave it there because obviously my camera's died. Let us know in the comments who you thought was better, the man of the match. Surely it's got to be Anthony Gordon, but if there was anybody else, let us know in the comments. If you haven't already, smash that like button. We've got loads of content coming up from Lee and Johnny, and thank you to Andrew as always, mate. And like we said, we don't usually do these online anymore. It's all done at the Junction, so we will be back at the Junction pub watch along, which we're looking forward to when we play West Ham on the 8th of October. Before then...
I've just checked. It isn't televised, so the next one will probably be... quickly get the thing. We're away at Wolves on Sky 5:30 on the Saturday, on the 28th of October.
Okay.
But do we not have Dortmund before that? No.
We've got Dortmund away on the 7th of November.
No. So the next one will be Wolves away the end of next month.
Brilliant. Well, if you haven't already, guys, smash that like button, and we will see you in the next ones. Take it easy.